Dear Lord, please don't let me cuss it up. Hey everybody, bear with me. I get a little nervous in front of people, talking in front of crowds. I'll start the ball rolling and it'll be all right. I might flip and flop back and forth. I'm getting a little old. But, my name is Ron Bell, and I'm a grateful, recovering, God-loving addict. My drug of choice is alcohol. I say I'm an addict because I want everyone here to know that alcohol is a drug. In case you didn't know, it is probably, in my opinion, the worst drug there is because it is cheap, available, and everywhere, and it's actually considered a rite of passage in our culture. With that being said, I actually kind of got, okay, sorry guys, I'm ready. I got the notes and everything. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm from Tampa, born and raised, born in 1971. My mother was a single mom. I had two older sisters. One sadly passed away a few months ago. I'm sorry. And she was an addict as well, but she did not have her addiction. She was clean for a long time before that. And I have a sister that I'm estranged from that I don't speak to.
You got this, brother.
Like I said, I was born and raised in Tampa. My father was never in my life. From about the age of 8, he moved back to Texas, which was a good thing because he was abusive to my mother and my oldest sister. And so I always kind of felt left out, wondering why he didn't care. And, you know, I played sports soccer. I was an athlete. I'm an artist, if y'all didn't know. And I was a gifted program in school, so I was kind of always the overachiever because I wanted people to like me. And it was always hard to see, like, the coach's son was the pitcher, or he was the first pick on the all-star team and all that good stuff. But slowly through my teenage years, I kind of started running with the skater punk rock crowd. And we were the weirdos in high school, and that's cool because, you know, that's just the way it is. I still love those brothers to this day. I talked to a lot of them. When I came back when I got my recovery, I reconnected with a lot of those guys that were really proud of me. Therefore, on into school. Basically, my teen years, my mom was a single mom. She couldn't make us go to school, or maybe to church. I was raised a Methodist, and we just started to quit going to church. You know, it was like, I don't want to go to church, that's not fun. But as I became an older adult in my early 20s, I began tattooing. And it's not really much of the crowd to be like a bunch of Christian, sober guys that tattoo. So to be liked, you know, I mean, I drank in my teen years, but I started drinking more to get that liquid courage to be something I thought they wanted me to be. And slowly through the years, I really burned a lot of bridges and realized that that was not what they wanted me to be. And I isolated a lot. I didn't want to be around people. I was afraid of what I had done the night before, or what did I say to so-and-so, or whose wife did I grab, or something. Did I do something crazy? You know, I was a blackout drunk. I would binge until there was no more. If I came to your house, I'm drinking everything you have. And then we're going for more. And I would buy enough alcohol at 3 a.m. to last me until the next morning. Until for days, I'd be up for days until my body would shut down. My rock bottom pretty much came in late 2013. My mother was diagnosed with cancer. And my life was still a giant mess. But I took off from tattooing to take care of her and spend that time with her. And early 2014, on Easter evening, she was incoherent and non-responsive. Now she had an order to not be resuscitated, but I couldn't get her to communicate with me. So I was like, we're going to resuscitate you. So I called the ambulance. They came and got her. They told me she wouldn't make it through the night. So the sister I have not talked, that I do not talk to, I invited her to come to the hospital and say goodbye and all that stuff, and let's squash this feud we had. Long story short, my mother lived through the night. We took her home for hospice. My sister and I were around each other illegally because she has an injunction against me for spitting on her, which I admit I did. And so we got into an argument, and the last, she called the police. I walked outside to smoke a cigarette, and the police were there, and they said, I was like, she doesn't live here, I live here, you know. I let her come and be with my mom and hang out with my mom, and they're like, well, you should have walked down the street and called the police. So anyway, I don't want to stay on all the bad stuff, I want to get to the good stuff. So the last time I ever saw my mother, I kissed her goodbye in handcuffs. And I went to jail, and I never saw her again. Because I got out and talked to my probation officer, and I was like, what can I do? And she said, well, if your sister's at home, then you can't go home. So she's like, you could either be homeless and come see me every day, or what else do you have in mind? And I said, well, what about rehab? And she's like, I know it, dude. So I sat outside smoking her cigarettes, because I had nothing. And she gave me her cigarettes. And she called Mr. Hafer over here. My aunt and uncle were gracious enough to put me up at the Princess Hotel on Hillsborough Avenue in Town Country, which is where I'm from, Town Country. And so I got in here. And I got in here, and it was really strange at first. It was like, everybody's so nice, and everybody's dressed with their shirts tucked in, and nobody has beards. And it's like, what in the world's going on around this strange world, you know? Because I'm used to like complete freaks of nature, like tatted all up and split tongues and all this craziness. And so it was really like, I was taken aback at first. And actually Neil Lane used to do this funny skit with the new guys every morning. He'd like ask you a question, and then you'd be like, it doesn't matter. You know, you do this whole rock thing, but anyway. So, you know, for the first month or so, I was like, just kind of feeling things out. I had been sober for 2 weeks or a week and a half before I got in here. But the doc killed me pretty much for about, I would say, 3 or 4 days. Thankfully, they got me into electronics, and I moved on from there. But one thing I wanted to show, if you can give me the first slide. I don't know if this is actually still upstairs, but this used to be a sign upstairs that said this. Sometimes God calms the storm, and sometimes he lets the storm rage and calms his child. And that really hit me really hard when I was in here. And I was like, I was the storm. I hated everything. I hated everyone. I hated myself. I was ashamed of who I was and who I became. And for the last 10 years of my alcoholism or my drinking, because I'm still a recovering alcoholic, I'll always be an alcoholic. I didn't know how to live sober at all. I couldn't do anything without being drunk. I would drink 24/7. I hid alcohol in Sprite bottles, water bottles at my shop. My niece can attest. She found a bottle in the autoclave. Anyway, I was raging against myself. I was so mad that my father wasn't there, and why was this and why was that. But then eventually, I don't know how it hit me or why it hit me, but about a month and a half in, I was walking back to the computer area, because I was working in computers by that time, and I was like, you know what? You're gonna be okay. Life is gonna be all right. Whether you stay here a year, or you go to a halfway house, or you ever tattoo ever again, you're gonna be fine. And I saw these guys like Nicely and Edwin and Todd, God rest his soul, and Floyd, who are huge influences in my life. But you know, I don't think he's here. I think he's traveling around. But Major White, Marilyn over here, she replaced my mother. She was like my mother figure while I was here. And
I just realized it's going to be okay, Whatever, you're going to walk out of here one day, and if you got 10 cents, you got 10 cents, But God was going to make it okay, because for all those years I was raging, I thought God hated me, and I cursed His name, and I got 666 tattooed behind my ear at one point, and I was going to show God, and God loved, and then it was like, well, why did you leave me, God? And I finally realized He never ever left me. I was at But so I finally had the nerve. I'm kind of a quiet, like reserved, artsy guy. I don't really like work out or anything like that. I'm too old for that stuff. I'm too lazy too. So I finally heckled at him until the point where he actually took me on as his sponsee, and we worked the steps. And Keisha was my counselor at the time. She was amazing. And they really got me to dig deep into my heart and my soul and find the root of why I do what I do. I'm codependent. I am a people pleaser. I constantly have tried to get approval from the time my father left when I was a little boy. But so I worked the 4-step, came to the realization, hopefully y'all will too, that everything that's ever happened in your life, and please don't attack me, it is based upon your choices. You put yourself in the situation you were in. I was locked up I dated a not so all there woman at one point in my life, but if I was sober and I didn't drink the way I did, I would have never placed myself in a situation with such a unstable woman in such a toxic relationship to be there. So, but I also kind of wondered, my mom passed away. My sister, I'm estranged from, euthanized my dogs when I was in the program. That was a heavy blow. I had them for 12 years. I wondered, why did God do this to me? And it was put to me, again, by my sponsor. And I don't think it's I'm not saying that we all deserve what happens, but sometimes God kind of takes away options so that your final option is to choose the correct path. And if you could put up the second one, I just wanted to share this one as well, because this one really touches me. It says, enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. And I would urge you guys, and ladies, thankfully it's awesome that there's a ladies center here now. I remember when I first left that they were talking about it. It was Major McFarland's big dream to have that here. And it's a narrow road. It ain't easy out there. You're not going to get sober in 6 months and then it's like gumdrops and lollipops out there. Life is still life, but if you stay the course and you just work on your program and work on yourself, you have time. You can have time to have fun and do fun things, but focus on what you're here for. You're here for you. You're not here for your mom. You're not here for your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, children. You are there partially for that reason, but you're here to fix your life. And once your life is fixed, all the rest of it will fall into place as it's intended to. So I also wanted to share that we are all alive for a reason. Everybody here has some gift that God has given them in their life that they should share with the world. Whether it's you're the best ping pong player, or you're an artist, or a musician, DJ, poet. I have a sponsee that writes, and I encourage him to continue to write and do more. I'd like to, I was telling Valerie one day, it's the things you loved as a child, go back and do those things, because there's a meaning to why you love that as a child. I love to draw. When I was here, everybody knew I was a tattoo artist, so it was always here's some color pencils. Oh, look, this is some stuff we're going to toss out. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And I would draw, and I would paint in my downtime. It's all nice and well to watch sports, and please don't kill me on that either. But
do some kind of spiritual meditation that involves you being at one with your God, because that is vital to your spiritual health. It is it's insanely important. If you just continue to do it and you don't play and you just work the steps to make mom and dad happy, or your wife happy, or your husband happy, you're just going to end up back in here again. Or God forbid, you'll end up dead. And I don't want to see any of you guys die. Or ladies. I haven't really met ladies because I feel like it's weird to talk to the ladies here because I don't want to be like crossing any boundaries or anything. But, you know, it's like, we're all a team. Even the AA and NA thing, I get it, it's funny. And AA is kind of old people Brady Bunch, like, and NA is a bunch of crazy street thugs. But I really wish, and I think CR is that. I think CR can encompass the fact that we're all in this together, 100%. You know, we are a team because we're all addicts. You know, I'm addicted to like peanuts now. Jars of peanuts because I don't know, it's no new kick anyway. But I also want to share, am I like going crazy more? Okay. Anyway, I'd also wanted to share that the promises are 100% real. If you work your program and you get right with your God, my God is the Christian God that I know of. And His Son, Jesus Christ. If that's not personal to you at the moment, then I understand that. But believe in something. Believe in yourself, whatever it has to be. Start there. But I guarantee you that the end of the road will lead you to God, the God. And but I want to let you know the promises are real. You work that. You know, I didn't get out and immediately I was tattooing and making thousands of dollars or something. I still don't make that kind of money anymore. But, you know, I met a lovely woman in my recovery, not recommended. That kind of stuff. But I told her my whole life story in like 10 minutes when I first met her. Like, I'm in rehab, and I'm a new creation in Christ, and if you trust in me, then I'll never let you down. And she took me on that word, and we took it slow. We never even met in person for months. And then we met, and we talked, and we hung out, and I told her that anything she's ever wanted to know. And she is my wife to this day. I have wonderful stepchildren, Abigail, my little one, who is so much grief too, because I only want him to not go down the bad road that I have. And I love him, and he's a wonderful piano player as well as about 16 other instruments. Sarah, who is my sister that passed daughter, and is like my own daughter. I love her to death, but she is my only living biological relative that I speak with. But the promises are real. I own my own little shop now. I've gradually, slowly built through the years to where I'm doing art shows. And I have a YouTube video, our YouTube channel I'm starting. I've done Twitch. I make sketch cards, like the little trading art cards and stuff. And I wanted to also throw this in here before I forget. Any of y'all that are into art or artists yourselves, hit me up on Facebook or talk to me sometime when you see me around here. Because I've been trying to start an actual collective of recovered artists that can all do shows together and support one another. The name of my company is actually Square One Arts because my wife helped me think of that when I was here. Because when I got sober, I started back at Square One. And the symbol is like a hopscotch, the little square with the one, because that's the first step. So it's like the step, but it's a square. It's a, yeah. But anyway, hit me up. Because I post on Facebook and no one ever, and like, gets with me. I'm like, I want to tell you that no sin is too far from the grace of God. We are all sinners, everyone. We are all fall short. So whatever it may be, you might cuss. Okay, whatever. I do that a lot. Sorry. I know a gentleman here who's having a really hard time with something that he talked about a couple weeks ago. God still loves you.
That's right.
You're good, man. You'll be all right. Work on it. You'll be okay. You know, if you ever need to talk to me, pull me to the side when I'm here. You know, do the steps. I know you found a certain sponsor, I think, when we talked last. I'm not sure how that's going, but we're all good, you know. We're all saved by grace. If you just ask, it's easy. Just don't do the wrong stuff. I mean, I know it's hard to say because I've been doing, oh, by the way, I forgot. My name is Ron Bell, and I'm a grateful recovering addict. I have been clean and sober for 6 years and 5 months. And 11 days. I'm not very good at it. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that find purpose in what you do and purpose in life. Helping others is huge, huge. Everything I've ever done in my giving back to my church, to my home group, to the groups here. I just started sponsoring guys this year. I never did it before because I honestly wasn't sure I'd be any good at it. But a lot of people have asked, and I've done my best so far. But find that purpose. Find that thing that makes you get up in the morning. Find that drive, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what other people think. This ain't a popularity contest. Addiction don't care how rich you are, what color you are, your faith, anything. It will take you and snatch you up and take you. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything. I do want to thank God because He is my higher power and the greatest power there ever was. And it's amazing the gifts that I have been given in the eyes, especially after the first year. You kind of shake out them cobwebs and you see stuff and you look at things, and it's like the littlest things. My children have nicknamed me Murmur. Because when I'm mad, I mumble around the house like Murr. But even when I'm angry and there's things going wrong and the bills are late, or I don't know how my van's going to get fixed or whatever it might be, there's something to, and at least I'm alive to even enjoy that. It's funny. My kids drive me insane sometimes, but it's like funny. You know, you like sit back and like, oh, it's silly, you know. But just work on yourself. You know, any of you, like I said, if anybody here has any questions, ever wants to talk to me, I'm here. Find me on Facebook if you can, whatever it may be. I think that is pretty much. I want to thank Val for. But like I said, NA, AA, wonderful programs. I do wish that there was a way to converge them somehow. Maybe one day. Yeah, CR does. So. But what else? I think all I have left is that I believe in all of you, and I love each and every one of you.